you at on your surgery? Are you finished now? Are you done, or do you have more surgery to happen to be fully transitioned? Yeah, just talk to me about that.
So basically, when people use the phrase, have you fully transitioned or something like that, so that isn't actually correct, I suppose. I would never take offense to that because people don't know, but there isn't only one way to transition. So some people, it depends how that person feels within their body, how dysphoric they feel, how comfortable they feel within themselves, what really affects them, what doesn't. So some people might, for example, only take hormones and not have any surgery. Some people might have every surgery possible and take all the hormones and need everything done, so to speak, to feel like they have transitioned.
Okay.
Some people won't. Some people will take hormones and only have some surgeries. It just depends on you, how it affects your life, how you feel about it. So obviously I can only speak from my experience, and I can only speak from the perspective of female to male. But for me, I have had I've begun taking testosterone approximately nearly, how long has it been? 2.5 years ago. And
what form is that? Is that tablet form?
I
Injection
basically
form?
have an injection, like a 1 ml injection. Initially, it was like every month, and then what that does is you then get your blood work tested to get my body to a level of testosterone that the average 30-year-old male would have. So that will keep getting tested, so to speak, every few months. So now I take an injection like every 10 days. And then obviously
is that self-administered, or do you go somewhere?
Yeah, no, I do it myself, yeah. And then what happens when you start taking hormones like that is that then basically forces your body to go through puberty. So I'm kind of like, say, nearly like midway through what a teenage boy would go through, so to like, so basically for the first 5 years, you're basically going through puberty again. So with testosterone, that changes where I grow hair, the shape of my face, the sound of my voice, where you store fat. Males specifically store more fat on the stomach, whereas females hold it on like the hips and the thighs. The way your emotions work, how easy it is to cry. So like I used to cry every day, cry at everything. Obviously I was in a bad mental place, but I used to cry easily, or if I was really angry, I'd cry. Whereas now I can't cry. Like
Can't cry.
unless I'm absolutely like, something really, really bad. I'll still get all the feelings. Like I'll still feel anxious. I'll still have like a lump in my throat. It'll like come up. Like I need to cry. Like I need to get it out. And then it just won't. It'll like suck back in. I'm like, oh,
Suck back in.
do you know what I mean? It's like it'll go back, and I'm like, no, get out. Like I need to release it. So I still get all those feelings, but for me, that's why I say testosterone saved my life, because before I could not manage my emotions. I was an emotional wreck. Like I was up and down like a bottle of pop. I was angry. I was upset. I was whatever. And part of that is obviously mental health issues, but a lot of it, it's unbelievable how much hormones form your personality. Because a few months ago, my testosterone levels shot up, and what happens then is, for example, if a man takes steroids for a long period of time, if you take too much, your body then starts producing estrogen, which then causes things like gynecomastia, where they get like little lumps under the nipples and stuff like that. Can affect your emotions. So my testosterone went too high, which then made my body start producing more female hormones again, which then started sending my emotions all over the place. I then had to stop taking testosterone for a bit, which messed me up mentally, knowing that I was doing that. At the same time, messed up my emotions. I quickly felt quite depressed and messed up for a while until I got back on it, because testosterone is really, really powerful in improving your focus, improving your sleep, improving your energy, obviously your emotions and things like that, which is why now they're starting to prescribe testosterone for women going through the menopause, because they didn't acknowledge for a long time that women were stopping producing estrogen and progesterone and all these female hormones, but women also produce testosterone, and they were stopping producing that, which which was why it was sending a lot of people absolutely nuts, because you need that. You need you need testosterone. So it's massively helped me emotionally. And then with surgery, so I was lucky enough to be able to save up, and everything I've done, I've gone privately, because the waiting list on the NHS for people to even speak to a psychologist to be assessed for gender dysphoria is about 6 years. And people will take their own life because of that.
Yeah.
And for me, I'd reached the age of 27 at the time. I needed to make that happen. Like I'd waited a long time, and I couldn't not move forward. It still took me about a year to get an appointment going privately, because there isn't the resources there. And I did that to sort of get onto hormones and stuff, and that cost me about, well, two £600 appointments. And then the biggest thing for me was to have chest surgery, because it held me back a lot and it made me feel really ashamed. And I was taping my boobs down with like rock tape, so I was like covered in like blisters all over my back, because I was just like constantly taping my boobs down. And obviously, like, it can restrict your breathing and stuff, but it can also put you in like a very dangerous situation, especially in a prison, or if you're like on a night out, and then, for example, if you like ended up in a fight, or your shirt got ripped, or like you can end up in quite risky situations, or like to give you away, so my chest was something that really held me back, that I wanted to really sort of sort out. And I went to Miami to see a specific surgeon who I'd followed for a long time, because there's a lot of surgeons who don't know what they're doing, and they'll just sort of like cut you through the middle, or leave you with no nipples, or the aesthetics of it was really important for me, because of what I wanted to do, and I wanted to go and do all these things and build the body that I'd always wanted, and I didn't want to just go to any surgeon. So it was important for me to go to someone who understood that it was important to put the scars under my pecs, and put my nipples in the right place, and allow me to have the body that I've always wanted. So that cost me, including like the trip and stuff, about 15 grand. And yeah, up to now, that's all that I've done. There's a hell of a lot of surgeries that you can get done. In terms of lower surgery, that is not where I feel like it needs to be right now for me to put myself through it. There's a lot of risks. Doesn't always work. It's about 4 operations, probably about 60 grand. And obviously like a very big skin graft to put something together.
How does that work?
So they'd usually take probably a big skin graft from your arm or your leg, and then there's like 4 operations to it to sort of build something that is then effective, and you can something that could like get erect, for example, or be functioning, or you could feel it, or wee, and all those things. So I don't know the ins and outs, but to construct that and put your body through that, it's about 4 operations, which means probably like years of recovery and years of putting my life on pause that I'm not ready to do, and that I'm not mentally ready to do, because
and there's no guarantee it actually works.
And there's no guarantee of it, and it's a hell of a lot of money, and I wouldn't be able to work, I wouldn't be able to do anything else. So the risk to my mental health is too much for me to put myself through right now. I'm not saying it's something I won't do in the future, but I just feel like the process of surgery from male to female is a lot more advanced and a lot more further on than that is right now. Obviously, it bothers me, but I'm so happy in myself now and how I look physically, and that I can present with my chest and how I am and all those things, that isn't my main priority right now. And there's always ways and means to do different things.